Hi, Rich Soares with 303 Radio here, and I am here with Ellen Hart, a Colorado resident. We're here on the Big Island of Hawaii. Ellen, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thank you it's my honor. It's really my honor.
It's great to be here with you. Tell me a little bit about how you qualified this year to get here today.
Okay, now Kona is like, the big show. It's it inspires me pretty much all year long because that's where you want to be in October. And so I have, kind of gone back and forth with the idea of giving up the full course, the long course, but there's just something about Kona that's so magical and that I wanted to do it one more time. And this one more time is not actually going to turn out the way that I had hoped because I've been injured. I've been injured for 11 of the last 12 months. And so how did I qualify? Well, I had 3 stress fractures in a row, and I still have a torn tendon and a bone cyst and some arthritis and tendonitis. Okay, enough of that. But between stress fractures, I took off the boot and raced at the Hawaii 70.3 because there wasn't any way, I hadn't run since March, so there wasn't any way I could do a full to qualify, but luckily, Hawaii 70.3 had some spots this year. And so I didn't know if I could make it, but I did, and I was just so delighted. I mean, pictures afterwards, I was like tears streaming down my face because I was going to get to go to Kona, and there was no way in my mind that I would still be injured that far out, and then the foot just really didn't heal. And so there's a sadness connected with that because I won't be able to do the run, which is my favorite part, and I won't be able to come down Ali'i Drive, which is everyone's favorite part. But, on the other hand, how many people get to go to the big show? I mean, how many people get to even be here? And then on top of that, when you're not so outcome oriented, you can enjoy the little things a lot more. And I'm going to fully enjoy every minute of the swim and every minute of the bike. I mean, basically, all I have to do on Saturday is to make the swim cutoff, and I think I can do that.
That's awesome.
So I'm looking forward to the gifts that will be given to me that day, which are different than getting on a podium and different than knowing you're in the hunt, and that's my nature. But so this is a way of appreciating some other aspects of this incredible magical event where it will be different and wonderful.
How many years have you been here at this race?
This will be my 10th. And I started triathlon in 2007, and then I got a spot every year since then. 2009, I didn't come because of a stress fracture in my foot, same foot. And but it like the last 10 out of the last 11 years, and I've gotten since you asked, I've won it 3 times, and I've come in second 4 times, and my very first Ironman was in 2008, and it was here because I qualified at a 70.3, and I came in 3rd. And then last year was also a very different kind of thing. I was 7th, and a lot of people would have said, "Oh, that's great," but it really was a disappointment to me because I had been so outcome oriented last year, and I think this is another step in my evolution as possibly a person that can appreciate some of the little things in addition to winning races.
You've accomplished so much here, and yet you're so very humble about it.
Oh yes, really humble. Like when I tell you, since you've had.
No. I know your backstory. I mean, I think a lot of people that will listen to this might have heard your previous interviews that we've done with you. Maybe talk about the folks at home or the folks that are here with you supporting you.
Well, that's probably going to just make me cry because this is my last Ironman and my last Kona. And the people that I want to be here are my husband, because he was the one that got me into triathlon by giving me a bike for my 47th birthday, and my daughter and her partner who were here last year. And I remember flopping on the bed afterwards and saying, I wish I could have done better last year, and I wish I could have done better in the race. And she said, "Oh, Mom," and she had tears in her eyes, and she said, "Oh, Mom, I know how much you like to win, and I know how much that took for you to just make it to the finish line. And I'm so glad that I was there, and it couldn't have made me any prouder than you did. And so she'll be there even, and I told her this is a 2 out of 3 kind of day. But then you know what we're going to do? We're going to just sort of flip around and watch the finish. And I've never gotten to watch the finish before. And so, I get to see it on TV later, but I never get to see the pros finish and sort of all of that. So, and there'll be people with me. There'll be all of my training partners, all of my family, my son who's in college on the East Coast, and ever since he was little, he's known me as a triathlete, and I remember thanking him for his support, and he said, "Mom, I don't do anything." And I said, but you do every single time that I go out that door, and you say, "Have a good workout, Mom," instead of giving me the grumpy face and asking me when I'm going to be back so I can do something with him. He's been supportive, and I know he'll be watching me online. And but really, it's the Colorado community that just means so much to me. And in a way, I wish I could, have a glorious finish, but that has really made all the difference in the world to me as far as being a triathlete. And yes, and so I'll be thinking of all of my friends and all the people, even when they just. And I'm not very good at social media, but I always read the comments that people make, and I always appreciate them, and they always make a difference to me.
You're very inspiring. You inspire us and a lot of the Colorado athletes. So thank you very much. I really enjoyed chatting.
And I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry. It's just, but I tell my kids, oh, don't worry about it when I cry. It's part of my personality that sometimes I cry when I'm sad, and sometimes I cry when I'm full, when I'm over full with, emotion or with happiness. And this is part of both, because I'm just so incredibly lucky to get to be here. And having had an eating disorder in my past and not being able to, I couldn't have done a 2.4 mile swim to save my life when I was that sick and that weak. And to be able to have a second chance and to be able to share it with all these people, and particularly with Colorado, which is my home, is just been beyond belief.
Thank you, Ellen. I really appreciate it. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks.
All right, there you go. Ellen Hart, everybody, from Colorado.